Before you begin, read, understand, and follow all rules and instructions found in the upright instruction manual and on the safety labels. Conform to all relevant federal, state, ANSI, and local codes and regulations. Don't permit anyone to use the scaffold unless they do the same. Make sure you have all the personal safety equipment needed for the job, such as safety glasses, shoes, hard hats, and protective clothing. Check that you have enough scaffold for the height of the job. Be sure to include required outriggers, guardrails, and toe boards. Don't be caught short. Inspect the site for overhead hazards such as electrical wires and cranes, and ground level situations such as holes, drop-offs, and other hazards. Inspect all components and replace damaged or missing parts. Never use damaged equipment. Check for such things as damaged hook spring pins, missing interlock clips, and properly working adjustable leg mechanisms. To erect an upright standard span scaffold, select a horizontal brace. Note that the horizontal braces are shorter than the diagonal braces. First, lock the casters on the end frame. The caster brakes are set by merely pushing downward on the brake lever. To unlock, pull up on the brake lever, as is shown on the safety label. Next, attach the horizontal brace to the vertical tube of the end frame so it will provide support while you get the second end frame and attach it. Then install the diagonal braces to the lower cross tubes to form an X. Shown here is a single width scaffold. Double width scaffolds require 4 diagonal braces and 2 horizontal braces at each level. Install a pair of diagonals and a horizontal on each face of the double width scaffold. Always check that the braces are securely attached and the pin is fully extended. Horizontal braces must be installed above or below the intersection of the diagonals, never at the same level. Next, install the platform at the desired height. You've just assembled the base section of upright standard span scaffold. The VX span scaffold is even easier to set up because the braces are already attached to the end frames and they unfold as it is opened. Unlock the locking hook, lift up on the horizontal and diagonal folding braces until you hear them click into lock position. Now test to make sure they are locked. Then lock the casters and install the platform. The rest of the assembly is the same for either type of scaffold. If you're working on an uneven surface, you must level the scaffold. The legs are instantly adjustable to a maximum of 12 inches extension. To unlock, twist and raise the lock collar above the safety locks. This unlocks the adjustable leg mechanism. To lock legs into position, lower the collar, check for proper locking by listening for the sound and looking to see that the lock collar is below the safety locks. Test locking by trying to raise the collar intentionally. Use the leg extensions only for leveling, not for gaining extra height. Leveling the scaffold properly is essential to safety. For fine height adjustments, turn the knurled nut. If the platform height is to be higher than the base section on a narrow frame scaffold, outriggers must be used to protect against scaffold tip-over. Attach the top coupler first so that the diagonal outrigger leg will be about 45 degrees to the ground. Leave this hand nut loose because you'll be readjusting it later. Attach the horizontal brace so it's about a 90-degree angle to the column and tighten the coupler clamp. Release the interlock clip and let the outrigger leg extend to the ground. Insert the interlock clip so that the pin goes all the way through both tube holes. To get a firm footing on the ground, loosen the top coupler, push it down, then tighten hand tight. Outriggers must be installed on all 4 corners of the scaffold, even when using scaffold against a wall. After outriggers are attached and adjusted, check all hand nuts and interlock clips to see that they are secure. Remember, to protect against scaffold tip-over, the platform height must not exceed 3 times the minimum base dimension. Saying it another way, use wider scaffold, outriggers, stabilizers, or wideners to increase the minimum base width to at least 1/3 the platform height. Check the table in the instruction manual for maximum platform heights with various frame widths and stabilizers. You are now ready to build upward. Grasp the extension end frame in both hands and install it on top of the base end frame. Move the interlock clip from its storage location in the lower hole to the upper hole in order to lock the end frames together. Test by trying to separate them. Install the other extension end frame in place, and again, move the interlock clips in order to lock the end frames together. Attach the horizontal brace on the inside of the vertical tube just above the rung so it cannot shift its position. Install 2 diagonal braces and 1 horizontal brace for each set of extension frames on a single width span. Double width scaffolds require 4 diagonal braces and 2 horizontal braces for each additional set of extensions. Be sure to install a pair of diagonals and a horizontal on each side of each tier of a double width scaffold. Proper number of braces, part numbers, and lengths are listed on the label. The brace part numbers are stamped on the top of each brace assembly. Place the diagonal braces below the top rung so that you leave room for the platform. All of the braces will snap on easily when the platform has been leveled and aligned properly. Upright recommends installing a guardrail system whenever the platform height is greater than 4 feet. Whenever feasible, install the guardrail frames and interlock them before installing the platform. For the guardrail system, you will need 2 guardrail end frames with 2 short mid-rail braces, 4 horizontal braces, 1 diagonal brace, and a toe board assembly. Attach the 2 guardrail horizontal braces on the vertical columns. Install the platform on the extension frame cross tubes only, never on any guardrail cross tube. Note, this is a walk-through platform. Install the horizontal guardrail braces on the top cross tubes. Note that the short mid-rail braces are already in place on the vertical columns. Finally, install the diagonal brace. To meet OSHA requirements, you will need to install toe boards on each working level of the scaffold higher than 10 feet. Unfold the toe board and unlock the corner latches. Open the long sides of the toe board outward and slip the flanges around and under the edges of the platform. Relock the corner latches. Lift up the spring-loaded hinge latch, insert the pin in the locating hole, and push the latch down. Note the access hatch can still be used. Taking the scaffold apart is just as simple. Merely reverse the process. At each level, remove the diagonal braces first, then the horizontals. Before erecting and using any upright scaffold, here are some safety pointers that must be followed. Read and follow the instructions and safety rules found on the labels in the instruction manual, and in the federal, state, ANSI, and local codes and regulations. Before using scaffold, read and follow these instructions and safety rules. Do not roll with men or materials on platform. Climb to platform only over top of end frame or up through platform. Do not exceed maximum loads of 25 pounds per square foot or 500 pounds on any platform. Horizontal brace must be at different level than intersection of diagonal braces. Before climbing the scaffold, level scaffold and lock adjustable legs. Lock caster brakes. Install proper braces and fasten hooks. Install toe boards and guardrails. Install and lock wideners or outriggers to widen the base. Stabilizers to widen the base include outboard supports, wideners, or outriggers, depending on where and how the scaffold is to be used. Otherwise, the scaffold must be tied into the building or structure to prevent tip-over. For your safety, never swing around end frames to climb on or off the platform. Use walk-through platforms, climb between cross tubes on the end frames, or climb over the end frames. Never lean a ladder against a scaffold or use one on the platform. Use care when pushing against or leaning on a wall when you're up on a platform. Don't step, sit, stand, or climb on any braces or guardrails. Maintain a safe clearance from any electrical wires or overhead hazards. Before moving any scaffold, remove all personnel, tools, and materials from all platforms. To move through narrow aisles or openings, outriggers can be shortened and swung inboard or outboard as shown here. Never ride a rolling scaffold. Use care to prevent tip-over while moving any rolling scaffold. Your upright scaffold comes with an instruction manual. Keep it and refer to it for safety rules and special precautions. The manual also contains erection instructions, scaffold component names and part numbers, height to base ratio tables and scaffold stabilizers, and maintenance rules. If you have any questions, call this toll-free number or the number printed on the back of the manual. To ensure proper fit and safety, do not intermingle scaffold components manufactured by others with upright components. Whenever possible, use double-width scaffold for the increased platform area and stability it affords. Erecting an upright scaffold is simple and provides a safe working platform for above-ground work. Protecting the safety of persons who work on and around scaffolding depends on your knowledge and use of safe working practices. Use common sense. Don't take chances. The foregoing are some